Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series with the Bucks taking care of home court, winning game 3 and 4. And I can't lie to you, I didn't expect them to do so, but they did take care of home court. And yeah, we have a series. The finals could go a maximum of 6, hopefully 7 games. And welcome back to yet another episode of BallDontLieUk with your host Humphrey. Hot as hell outside, so if you see my forehead glistening, just yeah. But yeah, as I was saying last night, the Bucks beating the Suns 109 to 103. Suns actually had the lead with they had like a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter and somehow blew it. Chris Paul has not been playing well at all, especially in the game 3 and 4. I think he's averaging like what five turnovers a game in the last 3 games. It's just not Chris Paul at all. I mean, that's not what Chris Paul does. But Devin Booker didn't really particularly have a good game 3, but game 4 he literally turned up, leading all scorers with 42 points. But it wasn't enough because Chris Paul had 10 points. DeAndre Ayton had like 6 points, even though he had 17 rebounds. Rebounds win you games, but so does points. Points are more important. You need to put the ball in the basket. And with Ayton's game, it's not as developed just yet. So he kind of needs more, setups from like Devin Booker, Chris Paul, putback dunks and stuff like that. But the Bucks, they're so massive. They crowd the paint. So you're gonna have to be an exceptional center to be, scoring against the Bucks. But yeah, Booker didn't really get any help at all, and the Bucks took care of game 4. But I really want to talk about the Bucks because the Bucks they've played really well. After game 2, I thought this series was over. But again, with playoffs, you can't overreact too quickly. I don't know why or how this happens, but when teams, go down 0-2 or they just don't play well away from home, but immediately they come home, they're a completely different team. The dunks, the putbacks, the threes, they're a little more louder. The crowd, the crowd gets into it a little bit more. They play with a lot more confidence, and that looks like what happened. And yeah, the Bucks literally took advantage of that. And with Giannis as well, I think that he's played 6 games overall this season against the Suns, and I think he scored 40 points like 3-4 times. So the Suns defense literally have no answer for him. They don't really have anyone big enough to defend Giannis. Ayton does a good job on him, but he ends up in foul trouble when he's defending him. So they're not really going to put Ayton on Giannis too much. They put Jay Crowder on him, even though Jay Crowder has the size, but he doesn't have the length. Giannis literally, his hooks, dunk stuff he just don't see him. He don't see Crowder, so he's dominating. He's literally getting anything he wants. And I want to mention something quickly as well with Giannis. I remember, I think it was 2019 they played the Raptors, and Giannis was on a tear. I think he had won 1 MVP already. And literally the level of basketball he was playing at, he was so dominant. Obviously they were talking, they were comparing him to the likes of Shaq and stuff like that. Like literally anything he was doing was coming off, and he wasn't really shooting too many threes and stuff like that. He was literally just eating in the paint. Do you know what I mean? But then the Raptors changed up the defense, built a wall in front of him, and they literally nullified everything he was doing, and his numbers plummeted dramatically, losing 4 straight games. And yeah, since then every other team, their defensive scheme is build a wall in front of Giannis, and hopefully it works. But one good thing that Coach Budenholzer, and I'll give credit where credit is due, him and Giannis himself for actually accepting that role, is to get more of his points in cuts to the basket, putbacks, dunks, like hooks in the paint, stuff like that. The easy points and stuff like that in transition as well. Because teams are still building wall in front of Giannis, but he's still averaging 35, 36 points. And it's literally, like I said, it's all from those type of actions and those type of scores, which is really good for him. Because he's absolutely dominating. Once he asserts his dominance, very little teams can actually guard him or literally have an answer for him. Defensively, Giannis on the ball, he's pretty good. But where he won that Defensive Player of the Year was with his play on the weak side. His weak side defense is exceptional, and it showed with the block he had on DeAndre Ayton. I think it was Booker came off the pick and he threw a lob up to Ayton, and 9 times out of 10 with anyone else, Ayton would have had a poster on them. But Giannis is just, he's too long. He's too long, and some way somehow blocked it. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? And I rate Giannis. I'm starting to like him more and more. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult to hate a guy like that. Do you know what I mean? Because even though he scored, like I said, he scores all these points, he can score 40 points and it's not aesthetically pleasing. It's not easy on the eye. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of putback dunks, a lot of, you know, alley-oops. It's not like, you know, the 3-point shots from Lillard, Curry, Durant, stuff like that. It's not pretty on the eye. But yeah, I do need to give him his props. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I can't hate the guy. His personality as well, he's very funny. But yeah, it's a great player, and that leads me on to his partner in crime, Khris Middleton. I've berated this guy, as you all know, in these past couple of videos. He showed up 40 points in Game 4, and when the Suns were up 9 in the fourth quarter, literally every shot, Khris Middleton, and he reminds me a little bit. And if you know me, you know I don't just compare anyone to Kevin Durant. But Khris Middleton, when he's on form, when he's making shots, he literally looks like KD in a Bucks jersey. You know what I mean? He's roughly around the same height, the same kind of frame, not, you know, too big, a little bit skinny with it. And his shooting is incredible. The 3 mid-range, like I said, put him at the free throw line. He's making all his free throws. When he shows up, when he actually helps Giannis, the Bucks, they're damn near unbeatable. You know what I mean? And the third best player on that team, Drew Holiday, he offensively hasn't been the best this season. But when they've put him on Chris Paul, he's nullified anything Chris Paul wants to do, and it's shown with Chris Paul. You know, we had, like I said, 10 points in Game 4. And that's just not going to cut it at all. It's just not going to cut it at all. And the Bucks, it's very difficult to actually pick who I think is going to win the series now, because my prediction was the Bucks were going to win Game 3 and the Suns will win Game 4 and, you know, come home and finish off the job. But it's 2-2, and it looks like all the momentum with the Bucks. The Suns damn near played the perfect game, but then, you know, last couple minutes, which the Suns have actually been really good at, you know, late game situations, closing out quarters, closing out games, stuff like that. They just absolutely capitulated. Do you know what I mean? But the Bucks, I have them winning. I see this going 7 games. I think the Suns will take care of Game 5, but the Bucks will come home, take care of their game, and we'll have a Game 7 at the Suns, hopefully. You know what I mean? Like I said, I do want a longer series. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how this shapes up. It's shaped up really well so far. I really am enjoying it, and yeah, just let me know. Just put in the comment section, who do you think is gonna win Game 5, Game 6? Who do you think is gonna win the series? DM me on Instagram, Twitter at BallDontLieUk, or put in the comment section as well. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy the show, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And don't forget, ball don't lie, baby.